everyone's what?
Yeah, back to normal.
Back to normal.
Yeah, no more world records and incredible feats and taking a tour around the lesser-known sports. Yeah, it's back to the big three and the Grand Prix and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so SA versus Argentina, we've got that tomorrow night. Second round, there's still a lot of work to be done. I mean, that performance last weekend wasn't quite convincing.
Yeah, no, the Springbok performances haven't been bulletproof of late. That the Irish tour that happened, now Argentina on home soil. Now we go away and we're playing out of the time zones, and they travelled to the venue today from Buenos Aires to Salta. And it's a lot of out of the comfort zone, but Alistair Coetzee seems to have a team he's settled on, although it's not as inspiring as a lot of South Africans might have hoped. Yeah. There's the process. This is a learning curve, definitely, this fixture. Absolutely out of their comfort zones, and it's time to front up, and he's gone with the consistency. So it's basically the same team from Nelspruit, except for Vincent Koch coming in for Julian Redling-Hasten. That was just an injury. And then he's also, second guessing himself a little bit by putting Morné Steyn on the bench, a seasoned kicker, but it doesn't speak to a man who's trying to shake the establishment of South African rugby. He's kind of putting Steyn on the bench just means we might get 10 points from him if the worst case scenario happens. And
he said it himself that the Argentinian side, they are an ever-improving side. They are a good side to play. Yeah, no,
they're an ever-evolving side, and especially at home, they've got a lot to prove. They definitely, feel like everyone else thinks they're punching above their weight in the Rugby Championship. They're constantly trying to justify why they're there. This is the kind of match. You take it to the heartland of Argentina, free from the bells and whistles of Buenos Aires and the big city and that. And it's a cow field, and it's hard. And the Springboks haven't done well there before. It's always been tough. It's been freezing. And so it's going to be interesting, and it's going to be maybe a little bit depressing for South Africans, concerning 20 to 10 at night on a Saturday night. What a way to, ruin your evening if things don't go according to plan. But, we hope they do, because obviously Argentina is the fourth choice team in the Rugby Championship. You've got New Zealand and Australia still to come. Well, Australia first, then New Zealand. And we need to have got our act together by then.
Especially if you look at how New Zealand pummeled the Aussies last weekend.
Yeah, exactly. And Australia still are a threat to us. I mean, we wouldn't have said that too many years ago, but even a wounded Australian side presents a threat to the Springboks these days.
You said it, not me.
So we don't know what's going to happen with the All Blacks. So that's just...
Okay, still with rugby, we've got the standout fixture coming up in the Currie Cup, the Sharks versus the Bulls.
Yeah, the Currie Cup's kicking into gear. I think it took people a while to get into the tournament after Super Rugby and with the start of the internationals as well. But the Sharks, they're 3 from 3, and they are hosting the Blue Bulls. Blue Bulls also, they've been okay. They got 2 from 3, so not too bad. Western Province, on the other hand, in all sorts of problems, and they're playing the EP Kings in Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. That's another fixture. And then the Lions, the defending champions, they're playing today at 5 o'clock, which is an odd time, a Friday 5 o'clock in Johannesburg, against the Boland Cavaliers. But the tournament is slowly starting to take shape as people get their heads around the format and everything that's been at stake, because it's the pre-qualifiers that took a while to sort themselves out. And so now we're going to maybe see some decent rugby.
Okay, on to cricket, and we've got the Proteas versus New Zealand in Centurion.
Yeah, and I have it on good authority that outfield is not going to fail us. Although I think...
highly unlikely.
Well, but I think, the groundskeepers are now under extra pressure, given that they've moved the Test cricket earlier in the season, and it looks like it's going to be a fact of life from now on. That you have to get use out of your cricket grounds and make them pay for themselves. So you're going to have test matches in August. Pretoria, you shouldn't go wrong. Durban was a complete fiasco through no fault of anyone's, except the weather's not great at that time. But not a lot to read into that Durban match, except that the Proteas might have been in big trouble.
Well, I was going to say 7th on the test standings. How were we? What do we actually look like facing New Zealand in Centurion?
Yeah, it wasn't encouraging. I mean, we had a decent innings from Hashim Amla and Themba Bavuma, but that's about it in terms of the batting. And then Philander and Steyn each bowled 6 overs, and there wasn't much to read into that. Steyn got 2 wickets, but it really was anyone's guess as to what's happening. So this is the series decider, winner takes all, and also just we need to play this test match if we're going to figure out what we're doing with the season just beginning. And a lot of players need to figure out what they're doing, because we've got a lot of positions up for grabs at the moment.
Okay, and finally, we've run out of time, but just to wrap quickly, MTN 8 quarterfinals tonight, and then we've got the Belgian Grand Prix.
Yeah, MTN 8 quarterfinals start. The South African football season's just begun. First round of the PSL was played this week, and now we go straight into the quarterfinals of the first silverware on offer. Some interesting matchups. Cape Town City, formerly Mpumalanga Black Aces against Kaizer Chiefs, but the big one obviously is Wits versus Pirates, and that'll be tomorrow. So plenty to look forward to.
Simon, thank you very much. Simon Burke, our sports reporter, just giving us a wrap of what we can look forward to. Lots on the sporting calendar for this weekend.